Text, Chattahoochee Technical College, 2018 Goal, Rick Perkins and Eagle Award Luncheon.
Good morning. I'm Ron Newcomb, the president of Chattahoochee Technical College, and it's my pleasure to welcome you, and by you I mean the students, the faculty, the staff, and so many of our very special guests to this, the 2018 Eagle, Goal, and Rick Perkins Awards Luncheon. Today, we recognize the best of the best among our students and faculty. It's a very exciting day for us here at the college, and you will see why. If you've been here before, you know what to expect. You're here because you loved it. If this is your first time, you're going to be saying, wow, sign me up for next year. It's that kind of occasion. A special welcome to the family and friends of our nominees and finalists and award winners to be announced, to be revealed. We sincerely appreciate you being here today and the support you provide to those honorees today. Additionally, a very special thank you to our board of directors and board of trustees for the college, our president's workforce advisory council members. There are several of y'all here today. Your advocacy of technical education on behalf of the college, more important, on behalf of our students and the workforce that we're creating is so very important. You're so consistent in your support of that. We thank you. If you would please, those board of directors, trustee members, and president's advisory council, would you stand and let me thank you, let us all thank you for what you do every day. I would also recognize our State Board of member Jay Cunningham, a member of our Technical College System Board. Jay, stand up. We appreciate him very much. We have several of our previous winners here, nominees, finalists, award winners, Eagle, Goal, and Rick Perkins Award recipients joining us here today. What a very special group, and how special is it that they come back again today and did the year before and will next year in support of our ongoing efforts. If you would please stand so we might recognize you previous award winners. Come on, Dr. Forrester, stand up. We've got a packed program today, so I'm going to talk fast and be brief. Some people say I'm always brief, but that's not quite right. Because every minute I take here dwelling on the obvious is a minute away from our students and our faculty, and we're not going to do that. We're thrilled to have a member of our local community, Katie Beasley from Fox 5, with us here today. I'll introduce her later. And right now I'm going to ask Parnick Jennings to come up here, an old friend of the college from up in Bartow County. He's with Shaw Hawkins and Black Oak, and to give the invocation.
Father, we thank you for all the gifts of life. We thank you that we have food to eat and a warm place to sleep and a car to drive here today. And for this day, especially, may we take our thoughts off ourselves and put it on others that are less fortunate. So, Father, I pray that we remember those that don't have those privileges that we have. And on this day, Father, I ask you to bless us and bless our businesses, but not to the point that we can build bigger storehouses, but so that we can take a portion of what you blessed us with to help those that are less fortunate. Our mind goes to those that were recipients last year and the sacrifices that they made, and I'm sure the ones that win this year will have equal sacrifices, if not more. And I pray, Father, that you continue to bless them in their endeavors as they go forth to be part of this business community and help make this world a better place. And Father, at the end of the day, we pray that we've done something in our lives that's been pleasing to you and that the world is a better place today than it was yesterday because of our efforts. Now bless this food to strengthen and nourish our bodies and us always to thy service. In thy name I pray. Amen.
It's Katie Beasley from Fox 5. She is the award-winning anchor and traffic reporter for Good Day Atlanta on Fox 5. She grew up in Cherokee County, graduated from Sequoia High School in 2004, and 4 years later, graduated from the best university in the state, the Grady School of Journalism at UGA. She lives in Alpharetta with her husband and 2-year-old daughter. Welcome Katie Beasley to the podium. Thank you so very much, Katie.
I really am so honored to help out with this event again this year. I emceed it last year, and honestly, I didn't know much about the school or the awards before then. And I was blown away and frankly brought to tears a couple times by the students and their amazing stories. We all know that the road of life can be bumpy at times, hardships happen, and plans can change. It's easy to give up on dreams or settle for something less, but I was so inspired by the drive of some of these students to push forward through that adversity. For example, I can't imagine raising a family, working 2 jobs, and then taking classes to earn a degree at the same time, and that's just one of the many stories that you could hear. I admire the hardworking students so much, and I applaud the outstanding faculty that continue to push them to greatness. They couldn't do it without you, and I really do applaud all the faculty out there that make this happen. We do have a lengthy program today honoring the Rick Perkins Teacher of the Year, the Eagle Adult Education Student of the Year, and the Gold Credit Student of the Year. So enough from me. Let's jump right in and give away some awards, okay? And we'll begin by awarding the 2018 Rick Perkins Award. The Rick Perkins Award program is designed to recognize outstanding faculty. Faculty members are nominated by peer faculty and staff based on the dedication to teaching, impact on, and involvement with students, scholarly approach to teaching and learning, as well as the contribution to education in the institution, community, and profession. From what I understand, the judges were very impressed with all the candidates, and of course that's never going to be an easy decision, but we want to thank the many staff and community members who served on the election committees for the 2018 Rick Perkins Award. So individuals serving on the selection committees are listed in your program, but if you are one of those who helped out, please stand right now so we can thank you for your time. Now I'd like to introduce you to the 4 finalists for the Rick Perkins Award. And we very much appreciate all that you are doing to educate and prepare students for today's workplace. Those finalists, if you'll please join me on the stage when I call your name. We'll start with Crystal Blaylock with Business Management. Next is Ginger Burton with Interiors.
Ron Newcomb poses for a photo with Crystal holding a plaque. He takes a plaque from a table and poses for a photo with Ginger.
Next is Jessica Nettles in the English.
Ron takes a plaque and poses for a photo with Jessica.
And finally, Stephanie O'Donoghue with Engineering Technologies.
Ron takes a plaque and poses for a photo with Stephanie. Katie steps aside, and Ron returns to the podium. He holds a sealed card.
By the way, if you don't know, this is Dr. Juanita Forrester, our current Perkins winner, and this last year. Thank you, Juanita, for. All right, I do not know whose name is on this. Not only do I not want to know ahead of time, people around me don't want me to know ahead of time. And so this is, but I tell you, whoever's name is on this, it could be any one of those teachers. Any one of those teachers. And I'm going to say hot diggity dog, and it could be any one of those teachers. All right?
He reads from the card.
The 2018 Rick Perkins Award winner is Stephanie O'Donoghue.
Ron hands a plaque to Stephanie and they pose for a photo.
I just want to thank you so much. I want to thank my husband, Reggie, who's over there, who had to listen to this speech so many times. I want to thank my dean, Marcy, and my associate dean, Diane, for encouraging me to go forward with the process. And I just want to thank the whole CTC family. Everyone here is so great. It's been 5 years since I did that transition from secondary to college, and everyone has just been so supportive and so great, and I'm just so surprised and thankful. All right. So, I escaped generational poverty. And when I think about all I've been through and all the accomplishments I've had to this point, I do my happy dance.
She raises her hands and bounces.
And there are two things that made it possible: education and opportunity. You see, I grew up in a working poor family. My mom was a teenage mom, and she worked really hard. You have to when you have 4 kids to support by yourself. And she really wanted to get a college degree because she knew it would change her life. She even took some classes, but she couldn't get it done. But I watched her struggle, and I made a decision in high school that I would be the one in my family to break the cycle of teenage pregnancy and poverty. And so I worked hard. I got a scholarship to NC State University, and when I got there, I worked even harder, and I earned 2 degrees in electrical and computer engineering, a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. And just like my mom knew, it changed my life. I got a great job at Motorola during its heyday, and I worked there until I had kids. And then when it was time for my kids to go to school, I went back to school. You see, I did what so many non-traditional students have done. I decided to change careers, and I needed new credentialing. Let me tell you, trying to manage a family, a full-time job, and school, it is not easy. But I will tell you, and so will so many of our non-traditional graduates, that it's doable and that it is so worth it. So, let me ask you a question. Why are there 1.4 million unfilled jobs right now in the US? And these are good jobs in manufacturing and healthcare. What's the problem? The problem is that employers can't find enough workers with the STEM skills that these jobs require: science, technology, engineering, and math skills. But that's what we do at TCSG. We provide a skilled workforce for Georgia. And not to brag, but I will a little, my program, Engineering Technology, is the T and the E in STEM. There are 22 technical colleges across Georgia that offer a plethora of programs in which students can learn these skills. For example, let's take manufacturing. There's CNC technology, there's drafting, there's industrial systems and electrical technology, there's welding and joining technology. Or if we look at healthcare, there's physical therapy assistant, there's surgical technology, there's nursing. And what I love the most, the absolute most about being a technical educator is that we get to prepare these students for success in these STEM jobs. And they are going to be the core of the new economy. Now, if you ask me, there are 2 major benefits for attending a technical college. One is that students have a personal experience. I know my students, and I get on them when they miss class. My students know each other, and data shows that relationships impact student success. And the second is that students learn a technical skill. And I just can't stress enough how important technical skills are in our new digital economy. The future of Georgia's economy is dependent upon a skilled workforce. So let me wrap this up and tell you 2 things that I know for sure. One, I know that a technical education changes lives. I have a student that just graduated this December. She's a young single mom of a 2-and-a-half-year-old. She just got a great job at GE Healthcare, and she is over the moon about it. And I am so proud of her. Her son won't grow up in poverty. In 2 years, she has changed their life. And two, I know that our communities are better and stronger because of the skills our students learn and because of what we, the faculty, the staff, the administrators at TCSG do. We take students where they are, we meet them where they are, and we take them to where they need to go. We give them access to a quality and affordable education. And, dearest to my heart, we help many of them escape poverty. And that, my friends, brings me back to my happy dance.
Raises hands and bounces.
Thank you so much.
She nods and smiles broadly.
I like the happy dance. Congratulations, Stephanie. Chattahoochee Technical College and its students are very fortunate to have you as part of the faculty. Thanks so much for all your hard work. Now I'd like to take the opportunity to spotlight the college's Eagle Award recipient. Eagle, the Exceptional Adult Georgian and Literacy Education Program, celebrates adult learners in pursuit of excellence. The program recognizes and honors students who have demonstrated exceptional achievement in adult education classes. The Eagle program also helps to create awareness of educational opportunities available within local communities across the state and to foster involvement in lifelong learning pursuits. The Eagle Award recipient for 2018 is Samantha Massengill. Samantha is a resident of Bartow County and recently earned her GED at the Summerhill Complex in Cartersville. She has enrolled in classes at Chattahoochee Tech for this semester and plans to take classes in culinary arts and business management. Chris Hoard, Director of Adult Education, if you will also join us on the stage to help us present the award to Samantha.
Ron, Chris, and Samantha pose for a photograph with her plaque.
A big round of applause for Samantha.
What do you do when you are told that you would never amount to anything? At what point do you allow the words of others to determine your destiny? It would be easy to just give up, if not for the adult education program and the Chattahoochee Technical College system of Georgia. I would not be standing here today. My name is Samantha Ann Massengill, and I would like to share my story with you guys. I could have easily become a statistic. At 17, I was in foster care, and I was a high school dropout. I could not count on my biological family at all. My dad is in prison, and my mom was not able to take care of us, my brother and I. If not for the generosity of my aunt, I honestly do not know where I would be living. And my brother still lives in his foster home with his foster mother, a place where he finally feels comfortable and accepted. Life was not always this messy, though. In 2011, when I was 12 years old, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. My dad couldn't cope, and my mom sank into a deep depression. During her treatments, she attempted suicide, or tried to at least. She wasn't successful, thankfully. But I remember her walking into the room and collapsing at my feet at 12. As traumatic as it was to see that, I was still able to think logically enough to call 911. Thankfully, she really did survive, and she still struggles with mental health issues, and that's one of the reasons why me and my brother do not live at home. 3 years later, 2 detectives came to our home, and they talked to my mom for a while, and my brother and I had been asked to go to our rooms. My mom came back there, and she asked me if I thought that either I or my brother was looking at child pornography on our computers. I know I had not, and I highly suspected that my brother had not either, as he was 12 at that time. Whew. It later became apparent to us that it was my dad who had, and he is now in prison because of what he did. Before he went to prison, though, my dad had told me that he felt that it was my fault that my mother tried to attempt suicide when I was 12. That accusation completely devastated me. I couldn't function or just think on my own for a long time, and it completely took my self-esteem. I had already convinced myself that I was a failure. And this is when I decided to leave my home. It took me a year to enroll into a GED program. And that was truly when my life began to turn around. I found the Chattahoochee Technical College Adult Education Program. I chose this program because I felt that I needed the accountability. Before starting this program, I was previously homeschooled exclusively. I didn't even attend kindergarten anywhere else. My biggest struggles were understanding how to take multiple choice questions or standardized testing, because when you're homeschooled, you honestly do not have to do anything like that. It was completely new. The instructors at the adult ed program helped me learn how to test. These wonderful instructors encouraged me and told me that I could earn my GED and that I could go to college, which was something that I thought I could never do. My instructors gave me the contact information for Miss Jackie, which is the transition specialist, and she helped me through the process of enrolling and finally getting to come here. Imagine how that helped my self-esteem. I want to be able to encourage people who feel that they aren't good enough. I want to be able to show people that they can have a future and that getting their GED can be one of the many stepping stones to the goals that they want to achieve. I don't want anyone to be afraid that they may fail or to not try because of a fear of failure. I earned my GED because I want to be more than enough for me. When I was growing up, I was always told that I would never amount to anything, that I would never be enough. And now I finally feel adequate enough, and that I'm not a failure, and that I can do this. I already begun classes at Chattahoochee Technical College for culinary arts at the Mountain View location, and it is much different than I thought it would be, but it is everything I've dreamed about for a very long time. And I stand before you today as a college student who knows that she can achieve success. Thank you.
She bows as she leaves the podium.
I learned my lesson last year and I brought my tissue up. Thank you so much, Samantha, for sharing your story, for us, for being brave, and congratulations on being selected this year's Eagle recipient. Well deserved, and we wish you the best as you continue your education at Chattahoochee Tech. We're so glad you found this place. Now on to the final segment of our program, announcing the 2018 goal recipient. As with all these programs, many sponsors and supporters help to make this program happen. The Cobb Chamber of Commerce is a goal sponsor. Rob Garcia, Workforce Development Manager with the Chamber, we want to thank you for being here today. Additionally, it takes a lot of staff, faculty, and community members serving on screening and selection panels to get us to this point. And if you served on a panel in the goal selection process, please stand so we can thank you for your time and commitment to these outstanding students. Thank you so much again for your help with this. And from what I've heard, of course, this was a very challenging year to narrow down the goal nominees. All the students represented themselves and their programs extremely well and shared their compelling stories very powerfully. In this case, it certainly is an honor just to be nominated. And students are nominated by an instructor who recognizes a thirst and dedication for learning and leadership. Students and your nominating instructor, please stand as I read your name. The 2018 Chattahoochee Tech Gold Student nominees are Donita Kolda, studying Healthcare Science Certificate, nominated by David Kellogg. Next is Janet Dudome, studying business management and nominated by Allison Boudet. Next is Malik El-Gadi, studying marketing management and nominated by Brian Moss. Rachel Gondek is studying healthcare science certificate, nominated by Nicole Bostic. Next, we have Madison Gowder, studying interiors and nominated by Ginger Burton. Next is David Haviliana, studying Associate of Science in Nursing and nominated by Bertha Calloway. Next is Eunice Kipti Belange, studying Associate of Science in Nursing and nominated also by Bertha Calloway. We have Sean Lamb, studying Applied Technical Management, nominated by Shalonda Dixon. Next, we have Deidre Morris, studying Barbering, and nominated by Jerome Heath. Next, we have Madison Potts, studying Business Management, and nominated by Sherry Zawolinsky. Then we have Amy Richards, studying Marketing Management and nominated by Brian Moss. We have Rachel Shea, studying Air Conditioning Technology and nominated by Chris Heenan. We have Marcellus Tubbs, studying Associate of Science in Nursing and nominated by Ranillo Haviliana. And last, we have Carol Ann Williams, studying Physical Therapist Assistant and nominated by Cindy Andrews. Congratulations to all the goal nominees. You represent the best of the best at Chattahoochee Tech. You should be very proud of yourselves. We all know you'll go far in your future endeavors. A big congratulations. And we'll have an opportunity to hear each finalist's speech in just a moment, but first I'll announce the 5 finalists. As I call your name, please join us here on the stage. We'll start with Donita Kolda.
Donita accepts a plaque from Ron and poses for a photo.
Next, we have Janet Dudome.
Janet accepts a plaque and poses for a photo with Ron.
Help me welcome Rachel Gondek.
Rachel accepts a plaque and poses for a photo with Ron.
Also, let's welcome Madison Potts.
Madison accepts a plaque and poses for a photo with Ron.
And last but certainly not least, Marcellus Tubbs.
Marcellus accepts a plaque and poses for a photo with Ron.
Congratulations, students, on being selected as a goal finalist. Let's give these students one more big round of applause.
A video begins.
Hey, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Denitsa Kulda, and I'm a third-year student at Chattahoochee Technical College, majoring in nursing and a DeKalb County resident. I'm from the Republic of Moldova, so while language can sometimes be a barrier for me, I love learning other foreign languages. What sets me apart from others is my cultural background and drive to learn in the face of adversity. I'm passionate about traveling and volunteering. When I'm not learning something new, you can usually find me hiking, reading, or ballroom dancing. Now, here's a little more about me and why I should be chosen as this year's goal recipient.
The video ends. Danita is at the podium.
Stimată audiență, am o deosebită onoare și plăcere să mă aflu astăzi aici, fiind nominalizată pentru Gold Award. Normally, this is how my speech would start if I ever had the chance to give it in my native language, Romanian. Today, however, I have the opportunity of a lifetime to express these words in English. Honorable audience, it gives me a great honor and pleasure to be here with you today as a nominee of the Gold Award. You see, I was born into a modest family of teachers in Moldova, then a member of the Soviet Union. Thus, the communist ideology started to shape my life since the moment I was born. It managed to cripple my personality enough so that I did not have the courage to explore my capabilities to the fullest. The reason behind my insecurity is simple. Even though the system fell apart, one thing survived: the communist mentality, which stole my country's prosperous development. Since I was little, I dreamed of becoming a health professional, but my dream was cut short while I was in the 6th grade due to circumstances that I could not control. My school lacked an anatomy lab. Moreover, we did not have a chemistry teacher for several years due to a lack of personnel. Since medical school required extensive knowledge in both chemistry and anatomy, my fate was sealed. So after graduating high school, I decided to try my odds in economics. While in college, I learned about a program that allowed students to work in the United States for summer. Little did I know, when enrolling in that program, that it would change my life forever. It is said that one may experience a cultural shock when visiting a foreign country. I did not experience one until becoming a CTC student, because it is a complete opposite of Moldova's educational system. My main struggle at CTC was the freedom of flexibility. Yes, it was a struggle at first, because I was never granted the freedom of choice in my home country, so I had to learn how to use it to my advantage. For the first time in my life, I had to step out of the box and decide for myself. In fact, CTC is the site of many of my first times. Here, for the first time in my life, I had the virtue of choosing classes that perfectly fit into my schedule. Furthermore, I was astonished by the abundance of resources available to students. For the first time in my life, I had the opportunity to study anatomy on models that perfectly resemble the structures of human body. It was here at CTC that for the first time in my life, I was able to perform exciting chemistry experiments that would allow me to have a better grasp of the study material. For the first time in my life, I had benefited from free tutoring and have had access to the vast CTC resources. But above all, I have to mention the most useful and inexhaustible CTC resource, the CTC instructors. Given that technical education allows for productive student-teacher interactions, I have had the opportunity to meet the most dedicated teachers who are always willing to guide, support, and set me up for success in my nursing career. Thanks to their hard work, I developed career-related problem-solving, communication, and critical thinking skills. Because technical education helps foreign students from the ground up, making sure they have essential skills to pursue their career goals. Now, for the first time in my life, I have the chance to explore my capabilities to the fullest here at CTC. Finally, I would like to thank and congratulate CTC faculty and staff for their commitment and incredible efforts to make technical education possible. So for the first time in my life, I have the opportunity to follow my childhood dream and make myself a resource for the community. Thank you.
A new video begins.
Hey, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Janet Dudome, and I'm a second-year student at Chattahoochee Technical College, majoring in business management and a Paulding County resident. I love creating. For me, my biggest source of inspiration is my daughter. She makes me a better person. What sets me apart from others are the hats that I wear daily. I'm a single mother, homeschool teacher to my daughter, an employee, and a student. I'm passionate about people and impacting their lives. When I'm not working toward my degree, you can find me filming and editing videos or exploring Atlanta with my daughter. Now, here's a little more about me and why I should be chosen as this year's gold recipient.
The video ends. Janet is at the podium.
I don't like talking about the hardships in my life because I don't want to be pitied or defined by them. However, today I will share with you a story about how technical education has changed my life. I remember failing kindergarten because I could not understand my ABCs. Then I dropped out of high school because I just simply felt that I did not belong there. After returning to high school a year later, I doubled down on my junior and senior credits and somehow managed to graduate on time. But then I became a single mother at the age of 20, thus postponing my dreams of going to college after being accepted into the university of my choice. At the age of 21, I found myself working 2 minimum wage jobs and struggling to barely make ends meet before I finally got fed up and realized that there has to be something better. Well, that something better came after enrolling into a phlebotomy certification program here at CTC. Within just 3 months of my completion, I was working in the lab at Wellstar Kennestone Hospital in Marietta, Georgia. No longer needing to work 2 jobs, I finally had stability. And my direction in life was clear before me as I worked alongside doctors, nurses, inserting PICC lines into the arms of cancer patients, drawing blood on pediatric and geriatric patients, all while helping to save lives. Because of the Technical College System of Georgia, I had a national license, which allowed me to work in the state of Washington as a lab technician, where I ran my own lab. There, I would see my patients, I would collect their samples, process their samples, then read and communicate those results directly to the doctors. Now, knowing that these doctors were coming to me for answers truly made me realize the importance of my job. I was finally becoming a person that I could respect, a person who had the power to change things, and a person who was taking control of her life. See, the Technical College System of Georgia gave me a platform to execute my vision and finally regain that confidence in myself, which I had lost so long ago. So after receiving my certificate, I thought to myself, if I can get this certificate, which allows me to work a full-time job and take care of my daughter and myself, what else am I capable of doing? So now, after returning to Georgia to complete my business management degree with CTC, I will become the first person in my family to obtain a college degree. Now, to hold on to that vision of the person that you can become is so essential. But the vision, I have pushed the boundaries of where I can go and what I can do, but that vision of myself in the end and what is to come after I receive my degree with CTC is truly what keeps me going. Now, my history of struggle does not define me. I define me. and I refuse to allow anything to interfere with that potential for my future, as well as the future of my daughter. Thank you.
A new video begins.
Hey, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Rachel Gondek, and I'm a junior at Chattahoochee Technical College, majoring in nursing and a Perkins County resident. I love the human body. All the systems that must function simultaneously to keep us alive are truly astounding. I'm passionate about healthcare and the Spanish language, which I hope to integrate into my practice one day. When I'm not working toward becoming a nurse practitioner, you can find me kayaking or turning pottery at my wheel. Now here's a little more about me and why I should be chosen as this year's goal recipient.
The video ends. Rachel is at the podium.
Wow, I'm so excited to be here today, and I'm so thankful to all of you that have come. We have such a great group. I mean, I'm just so impressed by everything that people have overcome to be here. And a theme that I've seen so far today is empowerment. Chattahoochee Tech has empowered so many people and played such a huge role. So first, before my speech, I just want to give a huge round of applause to all of our instructors and everyone here. Okay. I began my journey at Chattahoochee Technical College on Monday, January 11th, 2016. I remember the date well because on Sunday, January 10th, I was driving back from my grandmother's funeral in Memphis, Tennessee. I missed her burial in order to be present in class on Monday morning. I had no doubt that my grandmother would have wholeheartedly approved of this decision. She believed in the power and the importance of education. On the first day of class, I walked in, sat down, pulled out my notebook, and wrote, "Get an education, because no one can take that away from you. Mary Ruth Doler." Now, the internet attributes the form of this quote to Mr. B.B. King. And while I can't definitively tell you who said it first, I do believe that I can tell you who said it more frequently. My grandmother. Her words of wisdom have become a source of inspiration to me throughout my time at Chattahoochee Technical College. There are so many wonderful aspects of technical education that I could discuss. From its incredible affordability to its ease of accessibility, I truly believe that technical education plays such an important role in preparing Georgia students for success. What I didn't expect, the role that Chattahoochee Tech would play in my own life. You see, I signed up for CTC to take some classes that I needed for occupational therapy school. One of those courses, anatomy and physiology. I had no idea that on that first day of AMP1, I would meet someone who would change the trajectory of my life forever. On the first day of class, Dr. Nicole Bostic said, "There will be no easy A's in my course." Chattahoochee Tech has a nursing program, and if you're going to be sticking needles in people, you are going to know what you're talking about. She was absolutely right. Her class was tough and her expectations were high, but she came to class every day with this giant bag of different color expo markers, and she drew out on the board what was happening inside the human body on the cellular level. She had an incredible understanding of the material, and she could convey that understanding to her students in a way that few professors do. William Butler Yeats said, "Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire." Dr. Bostic's class lit that fire within me, and by the end of the semester, I was hooked. I knew that I wanted to be one of those nursing students that she was talking about. Since spring 2016, I've taken 2 more courses with Dr. Bostic for a total of 3 lectures and 3 labs. As I make the transition into applying to and preparing for nursing school, I have no doubt that I'm completely prepared for whatever they throw at me. One way that nursing schools measure this preparedness is by having students complete the TEAS exam, which measures proficiency in English, reading comprehension, science, and math. I recently scored in the top 1% of the nation on this exam. I've also maintained a 4.0 nursing prerequisite GPA. Dr. Bostic and Chattahoochee Technical College have given me an education, and that is something that no one can take away from me. Thank you.
A new video begins.
Hey, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Madison Potts, and I'm a sophomore at Chattahoochee Technical College, majoring in political science and a Cobb County resident. I'm currently the president of the Student Government Association, but I also serve in numerous other organizations. What sets me apart from others is my determination to be my best self in every opportunity. I'm passionate about learning from leaders to better equip myself as an instrument of positive change in the lives of minorities. When I'm not helping others, though, you can find me roller skating, reading, or making jewelry. Now here's a little bit more about me and why I should be chosen as this year's gold recipient.
The video ends. Madison is at the podium.
I'm going to echo Rachel a little bit and say thank you so much for having us here. I have some amazing other nominees in this category, and I'm so grateful for this position. I'm going to begin today with telling you a little bit about myself and say that I'm not who you think I am. I do not fit the profile of the average high school graduate. I was raised a homeschool student here in Georgia, and with the support of my incredible family, I graduated at 15 years old. I knew I wanted to be an instrument for positive change in my community, locally and nationally. Now, like most high school graduates, the idea of college for me was definitely exciting. But universities can sometimes be unreachable because of abilities, financial backgrounds, but in my case, it was age. After taking some time to weigh my options carefully, I came across the life-changing launchpad we all refer to as Chattahoochee Technical College. Now, CTC is not what you may think. Have you ever seen a rocket about to fly? This big machine sitting there on an even bigger launch pad, prepared to reach the stars. Now, what you don't often see is the launch center that equipped that rocket with everything and everyone it needed to take off. I remember walking in my first day, so nervous and excited at what was to come, who I was to meet, and most importantly, what I was to learn. And it was then in my very first semester that my vision became clear. Instead of business management, I decided I wanted to be a political science major. CTC has helped prepare me to launch, and I've grown not just as a student, but as an individual. What I realized is that when you start here, the sky is not the limit, but only the beginning. Not just education, but meaningful careers start here, community starts here, and opportunity starts here. Now, one of my favorite qualities of TCSG is the diversity in the student body. And I don't just mean ethnicity, I mean in goals and career choices. I've met the incredible welders, nurses, and cosmetologists that keep us all going in our day-to-day lives, but this is too the home of the high school dual enrollment students and the adult education students who are able to give their dreams another shot. What I want to do is break the stigma that says that technical colleges are a fallback or a lesser choice. I want my community to know that for those who are seeking a graduate's degree like me, choosing a technical college is not just a first step in a higher educational journey. This is the very fuel to our blast-off in eminence. This is not just a way to save money, it's a way to prepare yourself to reach the stars. Because of CTC, I've been able to help start a Black Student Union here on campus and learn leadership as the president of the SGA and a member of the Honor Society. Because of CTC, I've been able to help organize activities for students to be able to give back to our community. And as a poli-sci major, that is my goal, to better the lives of the overlooked communities amongst us. Because of CTC, every internship and opportunity I've put my mind to, I've had the confidence and ability to obtain. I promise with my experience to go out into the world and make it clear that TCSG is a launch center, and technical colleges are the launch pads in which we, the students, stand. I'm confident that the stars I reach will be the goals and the dreams that I've worked so hard to achieve. Because no matter where you're headed, this is where you should start. Technical college education changes lives, but technical college graduates, we change the world. We are all so much more than what you may think.
A new video begins.
Hey, what's up everyone? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Marcellus Tubbs and I'm a junior at Chattahoochee Technical College, majoring in nursing and a Douglas County resident. I have an outgoing personality and I'm extremely dedicated towards my goal. But what sets me apart from others is I'm a 21-year veteran of the United States Army. I'm passionate about my family and helping others through healthcare. When I'm not working towards my ASN, you can find me spending time with my kids, playing with my dogs, and watching sports. Now, here's a little more about me and why I should be chosen as this year's gold recipient.
The video ends. Marcellus is at the podium.
Hello everyone and welcome. Man, I really wanted to see that video. Should have had a screen back there. You know, life rarely goes as you plan, and that has certainly been the case for me. After I graduated high school, I attended Kentucky State University on a scholarship, and I majored in nursing. And I remember my mother being so proud. I was the first person in my family to attend college. But my first year of school, I wasn't focused like I should have been, and I lost that scholarship. I realized that I had thrown away a perfect opportunity for me to further my education. You see, my mother was a single parent with 4 kids. She worked hard just to put food on the table, so she couldn't afford to pay for my school. But I knew I had to do something, so I decided to join the Army. Now, the plan was for me to go into the Army for 18 months, get the benefits, get out, and complete my education on the GI Bill. But life took a different direction. You see, during this time, and as the result of a dead-end relationship, I became the father of 2 boys. And although I love my boys, you could say I was a hands-off father. I would send money home every month on an allotment, and I would only visit on occasion, mostly when I was home on leave because their mother and I had separated. And when my boys were very young, their mother became addicted to drugs, and I didn't have a clue. I was that hands-off. In fact, the money that I was sending home was used to finance her habits, and my boys suffered, and they suffered a lot. The man she chose as a living boyfriend physically, mentally, and sexually abused my boys. This was extremely difficult for me because at the time, I was stationed over in Korea, so I couldn't get back to them in time, but I knew I had to do something. My boys were taken away from their mother and placed in foster care, and it was at that moment that I knew that although I hadn't been the father that I should have been, that I would do whatever it takes to provide for and protect my boys. So my commitment to the Army quickly changed because at that point, it became more important for me to be financially secure. So going back to school was placed on the back burner. I was eventually granted what they call compassionate reassignment to my home state of Kentucky. And being stationed at Fort Knox, I was closer to home and closer to my boys, and I had the support of family members. And it was a long journey with the Cabinet for Human Resources, but I was eventually granted custody of my boys, and I learned to be the father that had never been to my 6- and 8-year-olds. I loved them, I nurtured them. Sometimes I overcompensated, but I taught them to be respectful and responsible. I knew it was most important that I prayed for my boys because they had been exposed to so much at such young ages, and I knew statistically where they were to end up. And that was in a gang, in prison, or dead. But for them, life took a different direction. So as I stand before you guys today, I'm proud to say that both my boys are attending college in Kentucky at the same time I'm attending college here at CTC. Right. I'm recently retired with 21 years of active duty service, and it wasn't an easy decision for me to attend college, especially at my age. I'll be 46 in a few weeks, and life has already happened to me. I retired. I'm from the military, from a combat MOS. Excuse me, that was at lunch. I was a single parent of 2 boys in the military, so I'm now an empty nester. So you may be wondering, why school now? Why are you here? Why at CTC? Well, I'll tell you why. I'm doing this for my mother because she's 70 years old. She's getting up in age, and there's still a little boy inside of me that just wants to make her proud. I'm doing this for my boys because as I get older, I want them to be able to continue to draw inspiration from me. And I'm doing this for me because I'm no quitter. I'm working really hard to finish what I started many years ago. Life rarely goes as you plan it, and I'm just thankful now to be on track. I'm thankful for the wonderful staff and faculty here at CTC. Those guys work really hard. No knock on any other campus, but those guys at the Paulding campus, they are working hard day and night to teach me how to be the nurse that I'm destined to be. My name is Marcellus Tubbs. This is my story, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for listening. Thank you.
Students, wonderful job. You see what I mean about it being a really tough decision? It's tough, right? I know each of you would be a great goal student to represent Chattahoochee Technical College, and thank you for doing what you're doing, and thank you for sharing your heart today and your story with us. You're very brave. The Chattahoochee Tech goal recipient will go on to the statewide competition this spring, competing with other college recipients to become the coveted state winner. And I say coveted because the state winner receives a car as part of the recognition, so not too shabby. And the wait is over. We won't keep you any longer on the edge of your seat there. Dr. Newcomb, if you would, please do the honor of announcing the goal award recipient. I'm glad I'm not the one having to decide.
Wow.
Ron holds the sealed card. He holds the card up higher.
Did I mention I don't know whose name is on this? And there are people around me who do not wish for me to know the name of this. But when I open it, what's the expression that I've already used that I could use again no matter whose the name is? Hot diggity dog. Louder? Hot diggity dog. Because you could not go wrong. You could only go right with any one of these 5 students. Hot diggity dog. And holy cow. It's amazing. It's so easy to get tied up in the administration of a college where you're talking about budgets and snow days and what you need to look at and what you need to take care of. And you know what? Is it not grounding for all of us to take a minute and pause and hear these kind of students tell these kind of stories? They'd be the first to say, yeah, these are specialists. These are special. These are the finalists. But you know what? We've got 10,000 students. We hear a lot of stories like that. But you know what? These 5 are here representing those so very many thousands of stories. Are you ready? Yes, sir.
He reads from the card.
The winner, 2018 gold winner, Madison Potts.
Katie and Ron applaud as Madison walks to the stage. She approaches the table holding the awards. Ron leaves the podium and goes to the table. Madison accepts the plaque from Ron, and they pose for a photo. Madison walks to the podium. Katie smiles broadly at her and steps to the background.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. I wasn't ready. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you so much, Chattahoochee Tech. I appreciate you recognizing my efforts. And I just want to let you guys know that you all are so incredible. You all are so incredible, and I'm honored to be up here, and I'm honored to be a part of the group that they decided to represent our school. And any of you can easily take my place. And that truly, it means the world to me to be a part of this group. Oh my goodness. Okay, first I'd like to thank God, my Heavenly Father, for seeing me as equipped to be a personification of His grace. I'd like to thank my professor, Sherry Zawinski, for believing in me and seeing me in my little speech class as I talked about so many things, so many random things, and deciding that I was worthy of this position. Oh, wow. I'd love to thank my family for being there and for literally teaching me everything. And wow, this school is incredible, and I promise I'm not going to let you guys down. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that CTC and TCSG is uplifted and that people know that we are here to stay, and we are here to do incredible things. So thank you guys so much.
Madison steps away from the podium and Katie comes forward.
Congratulations, Madison. And before we close, we do have a final presentation to both the Eagle and Gold student recipients from the Chattahoochee Tech Foundation. So Madison's going to stay right here. Samantha, if you'll come back up, I'd like to welcome Dr. Don Barber, Chattahoochee Tech Foundation Chair and Director of External Affairs for AT&T.
This luncheon is one of the highlights of the year for me personally and for our foundation trustees. And after hearing these incredible stories, I think you can see why. The foundation several years ago created and funded an endowment specifically for the college's Gold and Eagle Award recipients. the state competition, and subsequent college-related responsibilities of the recipients oftentimes requires travel, clothing, and other out-of-pocket expenses. Today, the foundation would like to present a $500 cash award to Madison Potts, our 2018 Gold Award recipient, and to Samantha Massengill, our 2018 Eagle Award recipient. These cash awards will support all of your efforts going forward to represent the college at the state competition, as well as the other educational needs that you may have. As the chairman of the foundation, and on behalf of our trustees, we're very proud of your efforts, and we're confident in your future success. Madison, Samantha, please join me up here as I present you with these incredible checks.
John hands envelopes to Madison and Samantha and shakes their hands. He returns to the podium.
And in addition, you can stay right there. In addition, and this just came up today, I wasn't aware of this, is an anonymous donor has come forward to present the other finalists with a contribution also. So I'd like to invite the other finalists to come forward, and I've got something for you as well from an anonymous donor. Don't know who and how much.
John hands an envelope to each of the other 3 finalists and shakes their hands.
Once again, congratulations to all of our finalists and our Gold and Eagle Award winners. Congratulations.
Ron Newcomb returns to the podium.
Wow. I told you it'd be an incredible day, and it has been. It's so, again, it's so inspiring to hear these students' stories, so moving, so amazing, and every one of y'all can let us know right now you'll be back here again next year, okay, as our guest for this a year from now. Students, I know you've heard it so many times, but thank you. We are so very proud of you for being here and representing us so very well. I'm telling you right now, not just the award winner, but all those finalists, I'm going to be wanting to parade y'all out in a lot of different locations, so get ready to go make some speeches, okay? Faculty, I hope you know that you're the how of what we do. They talk about the kind of things y'all do. We talk about the things we do here, but you know what? It's the faculty that make that how possible, that cause it to happen. I appreciate that so very much. Thank you very, very much. Dr. Butler and the other leadership, we've been talking recently, and I'll be brief, we've been talking recently about the wording annually about the mission of the college. And we know the words workforce development are a huge part of that mission. But we also talked about we need to add something about the development of that human potential. We heard some of our students today talking about rough roads. We heard others talking about not so much about rough roads, but about the development that occurred by being here. So yeah, our mission is about workforce development and simultaneously about the development of the individuals that come to us. So that's been an object lesson in what that wording ought to be. Katie, you did a great job. Thank you very much. She's prepared to give out her cell phone so anybody can't get out of their driveway tomorrow because of the snow, that you may call her, but it might be muted. Thank you. We are so pleased to have you again, and look forward to further visits with you. If you served on one of the many selection committees, I think you've been recognized, but you know what, you judges, we got to tell you again, I'm glad it was you and not me. You selection committee, stand up one more time. You made great decisions. Come on. I'm not supposed to thank anybody that had anything to do with putting this together because I'd leave somebody's name out, but thank you to everybody who had something to put putting this together. If the Gold Eagle and Rick Perkins finalists and their nominating instructors in the case of the students would stay on at the conclusion of this program, thank you very much, each and every one of you, for being an internal part of us that causes it to happen. And even if you're from, there's no such thing as an external community. You are part of us. Your representation here today, just like you support us in so many ways every day, we are all family. Thank you very much. Be careful going home. Thank you.